グリザイアの魔術。
Bonjour Watcher, this is Johnny Banger 45. Welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. Last episode we have seen a good scene between Yuji and Sakaki. So we're going to continue more.
続きからよ。
This time, Turkey shot. I don't know what the topic is about, but
もう
why the exasperation? Exasperation. I will apologize if I did something wrong.
もういいわよ。食べながらでいいからちょっと話を聞きなさい。
Nani? Jamie retrieves a small notebook from a black files case, her voice shifting to a business-like tone. As the right eye listens carefully while chewing away at her egg sandwiches.
先日市ヶ谷の本家で人事異動があったのは知ってるわね。
Yeah, then send a message around. The chief of staff resigned and they appointed a successor, right?
いつもの勢力争いの結果だけどね。ただちょっと困ったことがあって、後任となった門間陸将補は国交省と強いパイプを持っている人間で、主に私鉄関連の財界人と深い交流を持っていたの。
Oh.
陸将補は早速こちらに接触してきたわ。異例なのよね。お偉方が就任早々私たちみたいな下々のことに気をかけるなんて。何か理由がない限りそんなことはありえない。一体なぜかしらね。
To deliver some instruction about the situation with Sakaki's father, I do imagine his speech lacked direct influence over our company, but now they got a way to pressure us. Maybe even give us marching orders.
正解かどうかは私の立場からは言えないわね。ただ陸将補からは風見雄二には別の兵の中に入ってもらった方がいいのではという話も出ていたわ。笑いながらだったから冗談のつもりなんだろうけど、内心はどう思っているんだか。
This really is a fantastic job despite the crappy salary. First, I'm pushed into a mission, then I'm yanked abruptly off it. And in the end, I get a nice treat to the doghouse for my trouble. Our employees' benefit program is a shining example of the world.
ねえ、ユージ。ことはもう国レベルの話になってきているの。あなた一人が動いてどうなるような話じゃない。
In the end, I can die, right? What are you telling me to do?
学園から去って榊由美子と関係を断ちなさい。そうしないと今度は命令を持ってあなたに相対することになってしまう。
I see. So keeping you out of the operation itself isn't enough for them anymore. Now they want to keep me away from Sakaki herself. These whole things have become a headache from the start, and it's clearly only getting worse. Yes, they will come to school later, and you are dead. However, there's one element in JB's stories has been bothering me for some time. One element. Sakaki's father interfering with public access on behalf of his private interests is understandable if legally dubious, but on a more fundamental level, the plot's full of holes. The failed initial orders, the lack of support, the artificial abduction attempts, and the obvious radical changes after Sakaki Yumiko hired me. Under certain hypotheses, these contradictions all begin to make sense. Hey Jamie, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
何よ。
Up until now, I assumed Sakaki's father had learned about a threat to his daughter's safety and was taking a variety of measures to protect her.
ええ、そうよ。それが何か。
But considering all the events up until now, the relationship within the Sakaki family, and this odd pressure from the chief of staff, I have started to think that the real threat to Sakaki Yumiko's may be her own father. Any thought on that hypothesis? It had been in the back of my mind all along. If Sakaki Michiaki's objective was simply to protect his daughter, inducing Ichigai to take me off the job despite my success would make a little sense. But if the man's goals are exactly opposite, things start to fall into place. He was probably trying to intimidate his daughter at first, and I was deployed to serve as some sort of prop in that play. The attacker constantly complained about why they signed up for might have referred to a script scenario handed down from their employee. In any case, at the present moment, the identity and goal of Sakaki Yumiko Emily appears very clear. Of course, it was her father doing all along. Her father is the one trying to abduct her, isn't that right? JB, her face high expression as JB quietly casts her eyes down. That's more than enough of an answer for me.
私が答えられないと分かっていて聞いているのでしょ。どうせ。
Sorry, Julia.
もう。
JB has an old position to consider middle management in my company means dealing with highly confidential matters. I can't even guess how many secrets she obligated to keep. And JB is the very model of an uber professional German with a deeply ingrained reverence for playing by the rules. Not to say I am constantly using his personal emotions and I will share history with my master and to try and pry information out of her. I'm probably going straight to hell based on my treatment of women alone. Well, not that I have the slightest qualifications for having in any other respect. And what about Sakaki? Think I will get back into the dorm now.
本当にいいの？このままで。
I'm going to be in danger if I continue interfering in the Sakaki's family squabbles. And from what JB told me about Ichigai internal situation, there's a real chance my own people might end up trying to kill me. Sakaki's alone. If I leave her, she'll lose what little she has left. Now that I have learned about Sakaki past, closing my eyes and abandoning her is no longer an option. The girl spent her whole life profoundly isolated, and now, yet again, a group of self-centered adults are trying to tear her life apart. Although she cut herself off from others as a means of self-defense, somewhere deep down, Sakaki is still desperately hoping to be rescued. I don't know if I can save her, but if my interference can create a positive change in her life, I'm going to keep interfering. I owe that much to a woman who pulled me free of the same dark while Sakaki is trapped in.
ねえ、ユージ。
What?
あなた、ひょっとしてユミコのことが好きなの？
Why is it that women always go straight for the romantic explanation? You know better than those daily gossip in the dorm.
違うって言い切れる？
At the very least, that's not what this is about. Probably something closer to sympathy.
同情ね。
JB is posing an ambiguous tone that suggests she only half convinced.
市ヶ谷を含め監視は厳しくなるわよ。場合によっては国に歯向かうようなことにもなりかねないわ。
Suppose so.
もう一度ちゃんと考えて。ユージ、あなた自身のこともね。
Her voice seems a little lonely at the end. A bright yellow dove headed out of the place on the shady country. Rolls around the bend and disappears. The edge of the sky straightens little by little. Scouts begin to gather away, suggesting an evening shower to come. JB says difficult things sometimes. Standing over her, final words in my mind, I slowly begins to walk the road home. Yeah, you did in love with her. If not, why would you protect her in the first place? The shower turns out to be a full-blown rainstorm, continuing way into the night. My room is filled with the rushing sound of the rain outside. I sit in the bed and listen, completely unable to sleep. Insomnia is not exactly uncommon for me, but today is not the usuality. I just can't get that conversation with JB out of my head long enough to knock off. Sakaki Yumiko, eh? Honestly, I didn't give her that much thought at first. Our first encounter certainly left a strong impression, but since then she tended to fade into the background as often as not. For one thing, I always try not to get too deeply involved with my classmate, and she's a deeply private person herself. As someone, I recognize we were pretty similar in that regard. Little by little, I developed something of an interest in her. And right now, she's weighing on my mind more than heavily than anything else. Sitting in my bed, I push out the curtains and look outside. It's coming down even harder than I expected. Staring at the drops of water bouncing on my window, I feel my thoughts suddenly lurch inward. Ugh. Something almost like nausea wells up inside me. From the bottom of my throat, the depth of my mind, something ugly pushes its way to the surface. Think about myself. Thinking about myself. Those were JB's instructions afternoon, one day. Funny things to ask of a pet dog. In between our breaths, a few sad, deprecating words spill out of my mouth. I'm a dog, raised and trained on taxpayer money to accomplish such a job. They allow me the bare pretense of humanity, but their privilege is conditional on my absolute royalty and success. And now I'm on the verge of ignoring orders outright, opposing Ichigai for the sake of one woman. Is it alright to return your country to help a single person? My master never taught me the answer to that one. Sakaki, what do you want to do? A girl whose mother is paid to a deep fault, a young woman betrayed by her father, a human being who lost sight of herself, consumed by a sense of meaningless. Staring at my face reflection in the windows, I asked Sakaki a question. I know there's no answer waiting for me, even Sakaki probably doesn't have one. But at this rate, she won't have the luxury of indecision for much longer. The drumbeat of the rain against my windows finally dies down in the silence. The darkness outside seems to grow thicker and more menacing. Resting both hands on the window, I continue to ask the night questions without answers. It feels like dawn may never come. And the next morning, we're blessed with such pleasant weather, and it's hard to believe that storm passed us by our only hours. Even so, Sakaki gives no signs of leaving her room. It's just about the time when she usually be heading out to the riverbank, but she doesn't even appear in the lobby. Her shoes sit untouched in the cabinet, slowly getting the dust. In only a few days, that simply daily routine has vanished, leaving nothing but a void behind. And yet again, I had nothing to do but stand out, engaging in silent soliloquy. Michiro and Amane eventually invited me on the shopping train. Probably found it a little hard to watch me guard Sakaki's invisible afterimage. It didn't seem like Sakaki was likely to step outside her room today, so I decided to accept.
いやごめんねユージ。車もバイクも調子悪くてさ。その上いろいろと買うものだけはあってちょっと困ってたのよね。
We picked up a bunch of small miscellaneous items for Amane on the previous shopping trip, but today it's mainly bulky items like tissues, papers, and rice. All three of us have our hands pretty difficult by the end. Definitely won't be difficult with just the two of us. I don't really mind. Also, the samba is one thing, but I have a really hard time imagining you carry the 10 kilometers of rice on that motorcycle.
まあそりゃそうよね。
I can just see her roaring down the street on that ridiculously low-riding chopper she calls Bobataro, with a big sack of rice strapped into her back like some backwood grandma. Then again, I'm puttering along happily in a prototypical country mini truck packed to the grills with provision will also be pretty comical, but unlike the first case, it's funny because she looked so perfectly appropriate in that picture, probably best not to mention it.
ああもうこのトイレットペーパーってやつはなんでこう指が痛くなる作りにしてんのよ。お客様サポート機能してんの
Temporarily lowering a package of 12 recycled paper rolls onto the ground, which she shakes her hands in pain. And that's everything already marked with bright red lines. No way to get around when you carry those things.
じゃあこれ使う？こないだマキナに届いてた荷物の持ち手なんだけどさ。おお、引っ越しの時に使う緑のあれじゃん。使う。すごいわねアマネ。なんでこんなの持ってんのよ。いやなんか使うかなって思って持ってたんだけどさ。あのさアマネ、助けてもらって言うのもなんだけどさ、あんた本当におば皆まで言わなくてもいいわよ。とっくに自覚してるからさ。どうでもいいんだ。大丈夫よ。男ってそういう母性のある女には弱いって聞くしさ。ほら、ユージからも何か言ってやってよ。ねえ。
What? My listener's response is met with two vaguely reproachful glares. Once with the look and the grounding.
またしてもうちら置いてけぼりっすか。置いてけぼりっすね。今日これで3回目っすね。
Do me a favor, cut it out with a synchronized scorn. And what do you mean the third time? They answer my question with a pair of exaggerated American-style shrugs. After another set of these simultaneous sighs, they began talking to each other instead of me.
聞きましたか、マネさん。この野郎、さっきまでの2回のスルーはカウントすらしてなかったみたいっすよ。マジ空気っすね。何もないっすね。こっちは気遣って話しかけてんのにマジ空気っすよ。やってられねえっすよ。
Nani? Huh. So it seems I've fallen out of the conversation twice before without even realizing it. Putting aside this irritation little routine, I do feel slightly guilt about wifing on their thought attempt to feed me sad outlines. Yeah, I guess I was a little lost in thought. Didn't mean to ignore you guys. Sorry about that. I want to meet you guys at each other, exchange briefly, slightly tight, a little sign. But when it turns back to look at me in the eyes, there's an oddly gentle expression on the face.
榊さんのことよね。
Yeah, that's right. It's alright through me. It's time like this that makes you realize women control the world of a pretty fundamental level.
まあ心配よね。解雇されたとは言っても、あの子の周りに何も起こらないって保証があるわけじゃないし。
Sorry?
そもそも何が起こってるのかもよく分かってないしね。
How has Sakaki been doing lately from what you have seen? Anything noticeable differently? Only shakes her head slowly.
パッと見は変わんないけど、やっぱ少し落ち込んでるっぽいわね。マキナがいつもの調子で突っ込んでも寂しそうな顔して「そうね」とか言ってるだけだもんね。普段のユミコとは明らかに違うというか。
I see. Sakaki tried to at least appear calm around me. But even so, it seems she isn't completely able to hide the turmoil underneath the surface.
まあそのさ、私には難しくてわかんないけど、あんたまでそんなんじゃみんな一緒くたで落ち込んじゃうからさ。とりあえずから元気だけでも出しときなって。そうそう、ここでごちゃごちゃ考えててもしゃあないわけやし、家戻ったらごちそう作ったるさかい、それ食べて元気出しやな。
Awanes delivers light with a guffaw and a friendly smack to my ass. Sorry, not only am I unable to help Sakaki, I end up getting classmates worried about me. Truly pathetic. What am I supposed to do? Yet again, I find myself mere in a simple question that has no clear answer. What's that? Just as we were getting close to the door, I noticed something slightly out of place. It's the sound of multi-engines moving away from the entrance.
なんか車の音したよね。
Oh no, the mafia!
学園長は夏休みでいないはずだし、何なんだろう。
They want to take Sakaki-chan. Amon is the only one here with a motor vehicle of any kind, so it's very rare to hear engines running this close to the school. The principal at JB will be the main suspect, but as Michiru's pointed out, the former is on vacation, and the latter would just disappear before I came back. Spurred by the sudden sense of unease, I set off towards the door. I don't know. ユージ？どうしたのよ急に。This time over the door front door, Makina comes running up to me. What happened, Makina? いきなりユミちゃんがマキナ、落ち着いて何があったか話して。急だったのよ。ママネたちが買い物に出かけてすぐぐらいに車が急に止まって。ほんでユミちゃんはいるかって聞かれて。私が答えないでいたら無理やりでも中に入るぞって脅してきて。Hey, wait, Sachi-chan. She should be useful in times like this. 怪我とかなかったの？あんた大丈夫だったの？怪我とかさせられる前にユミちゃんから出てきちゃったのよ。Sakaki came out. Makina's not repeatedly. ユミちゃん。これ以上みんなに迷惑かけられないからって荷物を持ってきて、そのまま車に乗っちゃったのよ。どこ行くかとか言ってなかった？ This time the girl slowly shakes her head from side to side. 一言も言わなかったのよさ。みんな黙ったままですごく怖かったの。よしよし。Amon has had the anxious looking Makina close and begins to lightly stroke her head. ユージ、どうしたの？顔怖いよ。I'm going to kill them. Michiru looks at me uneasy in her eyes. You went with the voluntary. Is this really what you want, Sakaki? I imagine Sakaki desolated expression on the night she dismissed me floats on the surface of my mind. A message. Electronic chips myself for temporarily trust my line of thought. Sakaki. When I read those lines, the face that flashes before my eyes don't belong to Sakaki. It's the face of a woman who once spoke the same word to me over and over again. A woman who never accomplished anything, never broke free. And then, a man with an angular face reaches his hand out for me, swinging his face mercilessly into my face. The memory seems to rise up out of the tiny LCD screen and pushes their way into the present. The idiot! Closing the cell phone, I stare out the words reflexively.
ユージ？どうしたの？何かあったの？
Ignoring the concern, I fire off a question at Makina. Makina, what was the model and color of the car and how many were there?
黒のエンチュリーで2台で来てたのよさ。
I see. Noting I glance quickly around the room one final time. I'm going.
ユージ！え、ちょっとあんたどこ行く気なの？
Save Sakaki, what else? That's the last thing I want to hear from you, Sakaki. I'm sick of it. I won't hesitate anymore. We both made mistakes, but I'm not about to let us repeat them. I sprint towards the front gate as fast as I can. Shit! The pair of cars carrying Sakaki already left a minute or two ago. For the moment I need the hands-on something I can use to pursue them. But of course there are any cars completely lying around with the keys in ignition. Sachi! How many times I can stumble out of commission too? What do I do? Since I ran through the various possibilities in my head. Huh? I saw how many achieved without soon followed by a carefree greeting.
風見さん、お戻りでしたか。
Sachi returned on a bicycle. Judging from the tranquil smile on her face, it seems she's missed the earlier conversation entirely. Sachi, that her bike is a medium-sized model with a small tire and more than a little out of sync with her maid uniform. Sachi lowers to the ground easily with a whoopsie, then lowered the kicks with one smooth leg. Alright, next episode, my friend. Next episode. Thank you for watching my video. My video is just for fun. Don't take heart, brothers and sisters. Okay? Magic word time. I just say Formosa. So this is what it means by turkey shot.